Hello and welcome to the revamp,
The re-up.
2.0,
Part 2.
the CTE Football Podcast.
We're back.
Yes, sir, baby.
I'm Chris Anthony, here with Tucker Schroeder and
Yep.
Dalton Gossett.
Yup.
And I don't know, guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped. I'm happy to be back because we started this thing in the summer and then we're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then football season comes around, we're like, maybe
We
not.
had a participant drop out.
Yeah,
well,
it wasn't that we didn't want to do it. We were just like, every time we came back, we would just be so tired. We would just go to bed.
So, now we're back better than ever. Part 2, baby.
So let's explain this. So basically, CTE, for those that don't know, stand for Chris, Tucker, and etc. You never know who's going to be on the podcast.
Well,
Et cetera.
And etc. And then we have our producer Dalton Gossett with
Yes,
us.
sir. Here I am.
So I'm just excited to be here, guys.
Yeah, me too.
A fresh start on iTunes, on SoundCloud. We get to do it all over again.
And a little bit of a different, I want to say like a little bit of a different format, because I think before we were kind of new to the game.
Definitely.
So like we were a little uptight, we wanted to make everything perfect, but I think now we're attacking this with like a different mindset. Just like kind of going, we're just gonna
roll with it,
because like we'll be
See what
sitting. It's like
happens.
we were in the car last night and we were talking and we're like, man,
Great material.
why don't we just put the microphone out and start talking? And like that's what makes us so good. So like that's
It
what
clicked.
we're gonna. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
That-
So
that's what makes us so good.
So
Better than
basically,
us.
well, I don't know about all that. Yeah. We'll see.
We've narrowed our scope. We're not just a sports podcast anymore.
Mhm.
We're strictly football.
Strictly football.
And
Easier
instead
for
of
us.
having a long guest on each time, we'll have a special football analyst.
Bit of a
Which-
guest analyst. As
Yeah.
opposed to-
So basically, I guess this week it's Dalton Gossett.
Oh,
guess.
boy.
So we get to talk football.
with
and,
Dalton Gossett.
I don't know about all that.
So talking about what's new with the CTE podcast, it's under the umbrella of In the Cut, the website we created. And basically, it's a culture website that goes under sports, music, movies, TV, film.
Everything in the book.
Yeah.
Everything under the sun.
And along with this, we're gonna have another podcast under the way. It's still unnamed, but it's gonna be a life podcast.
Just anything in general.
Just us talking.
Goes along with the website.
It goes along with the website, something you can listen to when you're commuting or something like that. So
Something that we can like make our own. Just
Right.
kinda like,
It doesn't have any
we're
set,
not
set
putting
focus
any
necessarily.
we're not putting any tags on it. It's just something that we can like
roll with.
roll with,
Yeah.
make it ours.
because
So.
I feel like sometimes during the year, like we need to vent sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
most
this is like the
definitely.
perfect outlet for that.
Yeah. No doubt.
And so basically, we've also changed the CTE Football Podcast. This is going to be a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to overload you guys. We know how boring the NFL offseason can be. So maybe we'll just do like occasionally like a draft special.
Yeah, I was just
or,
about to say like a
exactly.
draft special
like
and
free
then,
agency
like,
stuff.
When something big's going on.
Yeah, but we're not gonna force it down your guys' throats. So we're gonna go weekly until the Super Bowl is over, and then we're gonna start the Life podcast every week. And we hope you guys like that. It's gonna be the three of us, and then just like the original CTE, we had a guest on that covered the bulk of it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get that started again. We have a big guest list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a long list of people that we never got to them because of football, but like now that we have time, we'll be able to get to them more. So.
And I think something specifically we should say is like we have other interests outside of football.
yeah.
Right.
Like we all three of us play college football, but I wouldn't say our whole lives revolve around the thought of football.
No,
Yeah.
there's a lot more going on in these heads.
For sure. Well, yeah,
Well.
no doubt.
But
Especially with you,
I think
Oh. Whoa.
and
All
I
right,
will
so-
say my favorite part of the old CTE podcast was just getting to know people.
Yeah.
That was
That
big.
aspect of like having the guest on, it was kind of like honestly, that was the easiest part of the whole thing because it wasn't anything that we were like, yeah, we asked him like scripted questions, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we were just talking and it
Yeah.
was easy. And that was something that like, I want to get back to.
And you never knew what we were going to get. It could be anything.
Exactly. Like we got an Adam Valiga who's just, telling us his story about being with an NFL guy for
super fun, super fun, super funny.
Which is so cool to find out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we get like a Tom Tabor that is like semi-serious.
Yeah.
Like struggles that he's gone through and what's happening with him. So I think that's one of the parts that worked with the original podcast. So we're going to bring that back in another format.
Yeah.
Along with, I think we might bring back top 5 a little bit. We got a little exaggerated with those.
Top 5 most definitely. I think.
Top 5s were awesome.
Yeah.
But we just want to make stuff that you guys enjoy. I think that's the main thing that we enjoy.
Yeah, it's got to be. And
that's
the big
big
thing for us is like it has to be something that we have to enjoy. And I think we all came to a consensus where it's like us just talking and like I'm not gonna say like get really deep and be like fellowshipping, but that's kind of what it is like we're just talking and being together and like learning about each other. Like that's where like we thrive the best, and that's what entertains us, and that's what's gonna keep us interested. So like I think that's really what we're gonna stick with and go with. So
that sure sounds good to me.
So if you want to find us on social media, all of it is under @WeAreInTheCut.
Yeah.
And you can find us there, and then the CTE Football Podcast. I don't have the handle right now.
I can find that real quick.
We'll find it, but if you need updates or anything about the website, you can find In The Cut at inthecut.blog. You can call it a blog or a website. We don't really care.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of written word there. You'll find the podcast there.
The CTE Football Podcast Twitter handle is @CTE Football Pod.
Great.
On Twitter.
Okay. Awesome. So you can find the podcast there.
Can't miss it.
We just want to have content for you guys. So like we're going to be starting a YouTube channel soon with a bunch of fun videos that we start.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. Hope you guys jump on board with us.
Man, I'm looking at the CTE Football Podcast. It's a little lonely right now.
Oh yeah.
Our last podcast was on July 20th, so I'm really happy. I'm really happy to be back.
Yeah, me too, man.
So that's good.
All right, so let's start into this football talk. We just got done with the divisional round. 4 games. We had the Seattle Seahawks lost to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
But that wasn't this weekend. That was wild card weekend.
I just want it to be known I went 3-1.
That is true.
Both weeks. I want it to be known I went 3-1.
Well, I'm steadily improving on my picks. I went from 1-3 to a good 2-2.
If you've been following on In The Cut and looking at our picks every week, you'll know that if you're trying to bet on some games,
don't listen to Tucker Schroeder.
To me because
of all the people, listen to Chris. Chris at least
75% you're gonna make your money.
So. Me and Tucker are tied right now.
Yeah.
Should we make this interesting? Like, should we have some kind of incentive?
I ain't putting any type of money on it.
Well, Dalton's
the
out.
The likelihood of me winning at this point is
slim to none.
Well,
none.
Slim to none, to say the least.
I don't know, Tucker. Do you want to put something high stakes in there, or
what do you want to do?
It's all you boys.
I don't even know. Like what?
I couldn't even think of anything like.
I can think of some things.
I can think of something. So usually on Sunday nights, me, Tucker, and Dalton go out for dinner.
Ooh. Wow! So I'm gonna have to pay for dinner.
Are you saying you're gonna lose?
Just between the two of us.
Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
Oh, that's
we
crazy.
pick up the other's tab.
That's easy.
Dalton, you're already out of this.
Yeah, Dalton,
you had your chance.
You can pick up my tab.
Yeah.
You can pick up the tab. We go to Texas
y'all can pick up my tab anyways, just for fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I like
that.
Is that a deal though?
Yeah.
Right.
So
we have
3 more games to.
Yeah.
So I might have to get dicey on a couple of them.
So me and Tucker are both tied at 6-2.
So basically, it depends on this weekend, basically.
And you know what? We'll say you want to put Super Bowls worth 3 or something crazy.
We can make it worth 2 because
yeah, that's
fine.
Say
you get both games, and I guess we'd have to make it worth 3 because if you say you got both games this weekend, and then I won the Super Bowl, and you picked the other thing against the Super Bowl, then I would get 2 and it'd be tied. So we would have to make it 3. So we'll make it 3.
Okay.
So that
sounds good.
That's the ultimate tiebreaker.
We're making it official on the podcast.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, sir.
High stakes.
So you can't get out next weekend, but you can help yourself.
Yeah.
So.
You can build a handicap.
And at the end of the day, I win no matter what because whoever loses buying me dinner.
I don't know if this works for you, Dalton.
You're out.
What's been your record?
That's exactly how that
what's your
works.
record? 2 and
Hey, don't worry about it.
2-6.
3-5.
Three-
Big bye.
Ooh.
Yeah, calm down.
My bad.
Oh.
Tucker, you would have a commanding lead if it wasn't for Cody Parkey.
If it wasn't for Cody Parkey, I'd be sitting
Cody
extremely
Parkey.
pretty. And also, if it wasn't for like Patrick Mahomes being like way better than, he's just so good.
So do you think that field goal was the moment of the playoffs so far?
Well, Cody Parkey's missed field goal.
It's probably the most talked about moment.
It's that. Well, that was probably the most talked about.
Because that was a great game anyway.
I was also really shocked with like how the Eagles started against the Saints and how like their first quarter was like the best first quarter you could ask for, and then you go around and then you don't get a play into Saints territory until like 3 minutes left in the game. That's you can't. I mean, obviously you can't win a game like that, and then they go and throw the pick, which is not all Nick Foles' fault. Alshon Jeffrey dropped the ball
right through his hand.
I think that's kind of a moment that I'm looking at right now, and it's also really interesting how dominant the Patriots looked against the Chargers at first. I mean, the Chargers did make a little bit of comeback, but that was pretty interesting also.
Yeah.
Well, when I turned it on, it was 41-14, and I just went ahead and turned it right back off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, like I think the Eagles are surrounded in the two most like talked about moments of the playoffs so far with that Alshon Jeffrey drop and that
Cody Parkey miss.
Yeah. I mean, and that wasn't even their
I guess it wasn't even really a miss technically
a tip.
Yeah.
Okay, we should probably just talk about all four of these divisional round games. The Seahawks did not play in the divisional round.
No.
They played in the wild card.
Yeah.
The Colts lost to the Chiefs 31-13. They just got outplayed. The Colts didn't even have a first down until like the 2-minute warning in the first half. The Cowboys lost to the Rams. The Cowboys kept up for most of the game. Just the Rams overpowered on offense. The Patriots manhandled the Chargers 41-28. That wasn't really a game at all. And then in the Sunday afternoon game, it was the New Orleans Saints beating the Philadelphia Eagles 20-14.
Yeah.
Which Michael Thomas played out of his mind.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the story it's been all season with him, though.
Yeah, I think that was just like another highlight.
Yeah, he's really good, and I just think it's only gonna. I mean, he has a great quarterback like Drew Brees, but I mean,
what he does is
he's
something
really
else.
good.
Yeah. So, you guys have any thoughts on the Colts-Chiefs game at all?
That one for me was like I texted you when we were texting about it. That was the most challenging one for me to pick because for me, like I was like, going into that game, I was telling you guys the Chiefs had the 27th ranked rushing defense, and then the Colts had like the 5th best rushing offense.
And the Colts were hot.
And I'm like, all right, what's something's got to give here, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick the Colts just because like I was kind of riding that train. Mahomes, it was kind of like a long break. Maybe they wouldn't be as fresh and hot as they would normally, but no, they came out.
No, sir.
Chiefs defense clamped up, and I don't know.
Chiefs defense decided they came to play.
The Chiefs fans were throwing snowballs. And
that was my favorite part. Is that Andy Reid
was
visibly upset and yelling at the crowd.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You don't see that every day.
No, well, yeah.
No.
I mean,
it doesn't snow every day.
Yeah.
That's a good
sign. I guess there's two things you don't see every day.
Right.
Like, okay. Yeah, I don't know why you guys wrote on the Colts. I mean, I get it. They played really well after Week 7. Like they started out 1-5, and then they just got red hot for the rest of the year. You guys acted like they were a team of destiny.
Well,
you can't tell me they didn't look good against the Texans.
Right, because they came out. They came out.
And the Texans were a really good team.
Well, like we'll look back on this now and be like, really, the Texans?
Yeah,
you're right. But like, I actually really like the Texans going into the
so
playoffs.
Did I. Just matchup wise.
Yeah.
They just fell apart,
Yeah.
and like they got jinxed. Deshaun Watson got jinxed too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see those articles that came off?
Yeah.
Like, he's never lost by more than one possession in a football game, and I was like,
Nope.
and then I was on vacation when that happened. And then when I get back to my hotel room, it's 21-0, and I'm like, what?
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, with like 2 minutes left in the first half, and I'm just like, wow, there goes like my NFL picks.
Yeah.
But
What were you the first week?
I was 3-1, but that was my one loss. So
Well, I'm sure Tucker will let you know he was 3-1 too.
I was. And it was all because of Cody Parkey. So.
seems to be some tension between you guys.
No tension.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. I don't want to talk
You have
about
some
it.
words, Dalton.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Rebuttal.
No.
But
Tucker knows how I feel.
oh,
Yeah.
all right. We'll move it along.
Okay. It's probably better we move along.
Moving on.
All right. The Rams at home beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that notable from that game.
I mean, I guess the Cowboys were kind of finding their stride, but, I mean, the Rams...
It's not soon enough.
I think the story of that game was, like, Todd Gurley...
C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson, but, like, Todd Gurley had, like, 116 yards, touchdown.
Yeah.
And that was only on, like, 16 carries.
Mm-hmm.
And Ezekiel Elliott...
C.J. Anderson got most of the
Right.
I know,
carries.
yeah, you're right. I'm just saying, like, how good Todd Gurley looked also, coming
Yeah.
off of his, break and injury and stuff like that. And then, like, the other story is, like, Ezekiel Elliott, it was, like, 21 carries, 54 yards, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's like, so...
Which I guess for Ezekiel Elliott's standards, that's low.
Yeah.
And for that old offensive line, that's low.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But the Rams have a great offensive line, too, so...
Yeah, they look like a team that just has too many weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And
Doesn't know how to use them.
I
all.
really think where they're susceptible is their back end of their defense. I think a lot of people are like, oh, their DBs are great. And, like, Marcus Peters is good.
yeah,
And I just think Talib and some of the other pieces they
like
have,
Joyner.
I think they are kind of suspect at times. So
Mm.
I think if people are going to beat them, I think it's going to be in coverage. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, their front seven is ridiculous. So I don't see them.
Crazy.
But, that's the only place I see them getting beat.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to pick the Saints over the Rams, but we'll see.
I mean, we unanimously had in the picks last week, we both had the top two seeds in the NFC winning.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know. I don't think there was anything that surprising this weekend from what we saw out of the Rams and the Saints.
Yeah.
No.
We'll move ahead to the Patriots and the Chargers. We already talked about this a little bit. Like Patriots acting like the underdogs all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's
We've seen
not-
this story
that's
before.
not it.
Well, it's like Tom Brady in his post game.
Oh, people think we suck.
He's like, yo, we suck. Whatever. Like, I mean, it's
Come
what
on.
it is. Maybe that team isn't as great as like it's been in years past. Like
Right.
maybe with the personnel they have, but the personnel is good. Their defense is good.
And it's gonna be a good game next
They're a
week.
good team, and
It's the Patriots.
But like, I don't know. You've already tried running this storyline like 3 other times. This just played out, I think.
Well, we have a Patriots fan in the room.
maybe.
For now.
For now.
We'll talk
You're
about
right,
that.
You're right.
We'll
For
talk
now.
about it.
For
We'll
now.
talk about
You
it
want to talk
later.
about it? You
Uh,
want to talk about it?
Okay,
You
so
don't
I
wanna-
guess
you
you'll
don't-
make me talk about it. So basically, over Christmas break, I should say this. I should start by saying this: the Patriots, for the last few seasons, I was a diehard Patriots fan growing up.
Die hard.
These past couple seasons, I've been kind of on the fence. They've been okay.
I'll give you that. The past couple of years,
Like it just kind of went away
So,
a little
Chris,
bit.
ever since I've met you,
You said they've been okay. You've been on the fence because you don't think they've been as good, or because you
I mean,
don't
they
like
won a
them as
Super-
much?
yeah,
they
ever
won a
since
Super Bowl,
ever since
been
I've
to
met
the Super
Chris,
Bowl.
He has kind of like desensitized himself from the Patriots.
That's true.
And plus,
I'll give you
Patriots
that.
fans.
That's fair.
Patriots fans have a really bad reputation. Also,
It's also very true.
like they're the
I mean,
worst.
it comes right along with
What
you.
does that
So.
say about you?
I don't know. All the
But you just said I'm so desensitized
all
to
the,
it.
all
Like,
the pieces are falling into place.
ah, wow. What a card to play, Dalton. What a
Oh,
card
well.
to play.
Must be
Coming
done.
from you.
So basically, I don't know. I went to a Browns game, and we had really good seats, and I gave my mom a hard time because she didn't resell them when they had like a value of over $2,000
Wow.
each.
It's crazy. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, I actually made a tweet about it, and she was like, "I can't believe you did that." But like,
But did you have a good time?
That is
it was like one of the best times I've ever had.
well, apparently he's going to be a Browns fan
Here's
now.
the
so
Browns.
Look at that.
So like the fans were into it. It was a sellout. It was versus the Bengals. Like they just gave it to Cincinnati the whole time.
yeah.
And I don't know. Like it swung me. Like now I have a real like decision to make. What do I want to do?
When was the last time
Is
you
that
went to,
allowed,
when
though?
was the last time you
What
went
do
to
you
a
mean?
Patriots game?
Is that allowed?
I've been to a Browns versus Patriots game.
Because
when
I will
was younger.
say, like when I go to a game, I usually tend to like be like, oh, I think I could like this team, but then I have to step back and be like, really, the St. Louis Blues, like, come on.
Is that allowed?
Like,
Are
is
you
that
allowed
honestly,
to, like,
is that
be like,
allowed?
man,
That's what I'm
you know what, I'm
saying.
changing
though.
my team.
Man,
Okay,
I just
so-
don't like the Patriots anymore.
I guess you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to tell my life story here. So
Oh god.
basically, when I was born, the Browns were gone. I didn't have a team. My mom went to school in New England, and my godmother is from Rhode Island, and she started sending me Patriots stuff. So I was like, okay, this is my team, and that was before they were good.
Yeah.
That was
that's
like
fair.
'98.
It's fair. Tom Brady
And-
was probably still there.
No, he's at Michigan,
When did he get drafted?
like 2000.
Oh, okay, almost.
But I don't know, man. Just something changed. Something changed, and I was like,
Something clicked finally in your head. You're not
Like-
one of those.
I think it's okay. Like, I didn't have a team when I was born, so, like, now that the Browns are back and they're somewhat formidable, like, okay. This is why I think it's okay, Tucker.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm going from a good team, bad team to a good team.
Okay.
I'm going from a great team to a marginally okay team. I'm
Okay.
going down.
Okay.
But
Let's go ahead and get your paper bags.
This isn't
ready.
like okay. Here's where I feel.
Shut up, Dalton. I heard
Here's where I
that.
feel like. Here's why I feel like you're flawed. Honestly, this is where I
Okay.
feel like you're flawed.
Okay, I want to hear it.
If you have like, I don't know. I feel like this is an unwritten rule. If you have loyalty, any type of loyalty to a team, doesn't matter like what team you're going to. I mean, normally in the normal like nowadays stance, people would normally like leave their fanhood like from one team to a better team. Or,
Yeah.
like a bandwagon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I get your case is a little different.
He's just getting on the Cleveland bandwagon
in a,
before you can call
in
it
a
a
loyalty
bandwagon.
standpoint where it's like
You just said like that story's cute, you know?
yeah, but like in a loyalty standpoint, like are you being loyal?
Hell
And
no.
can you answer yes or no to that?
For me, being loyal was to cheer them on, like this whole like last through Deflategate, through Spygate, through all this cheating. I had to be like,
did you
yep,
do that?
okay, yep, yeah, no, they're right,
So
no,
you're saying they cheated on you? Is that what you're saying?
huh?
They cheated on you?
No, it's not like that. But
They
like
cheated,
I've been
that's for
through the
sure.
hard times with them too, so it's not like I've just turned my backs on
Is
them.
this a breakup?
I don't know if the Patriots ever really
It's a
had any
messy
hard
breakup if it
times.
is. It's a very messy
Sloppy
breakup. Like, I was talking to you guys last night, like, how can we, because I want to put it on video if I end up
Switching.
turncoat, yeah.
If you do it, I'll have to get you like a Baker jersey. Or
These
something.
Yeah.
big developments still to be made in this story.
Yeah, so it's an unwritten story. Like,
Yeah.
it's half done.
Yeah.
So we'll
It's
see
still
what
in the middle
happens.
of happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk after the Super Bowl. but-
Yeah. Maybe.
All right.
All right.
That was a segue I was not prepared for at all. We don't have any
Like,
notes
keep it on
going
your
into
toes
today.
out here.
So this is great.
Keep it on the toes around here.
Final game, Eagles, Saints. If I thought if there was a team of destiny in this playoff field, I thought it was going to be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, of course. Why
Yeah.
not? Like, why
Foles has
wouldn't
been
you?
there before.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You could feel the magic, even with the Parkey missed field goal. Like, they just had it.
That
Yeah.
magic felt good, real good, till the ball went through old Alshon Jeffrey's hands.
But
Yeah.
honestly,
I think that might
Yeah.
that might factor into, like,
you can say that, but like you can also be like their offense wasn't doing anything for a whole like for 3
That
quarters.
is
who
true.
do you put that on? Do you
I
put
don't
that on
know.
Coach? Do you put that on Foles?
I mean,
I think
of course
the
nobody's
Saints,
gonna say I
the
don't
Saints
want to put it
came
on
to play.
Foles, but like the Saints were scheming them up. They couldn't run the ball.
Nope.
So I mean, I guess if you want to put it on Foles for not being able to put passes on him, but
And I will say
It's a team
this.
sport.
In this NFC side of the bracket, you can't play a bad game and still move on.
yeah,
In the AFC, it can happen because
Yeah.
you have teams. I'm not putting them down, but you have teams like Houston and Baltimore who didn't play well at all,
yeah,
and you can still squeak by.
Yep.
But if the Eagles had to get past Chicago, and that was
that was a Super Bowl caliber. I'm not gonna say they were maybe weren't a Super Bowl caliber team per se, like complete, but that defense was probably the best defense we saw all year. I mean, they are.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about decade best with Khalil Mack.
I mean, wow, they were good.
And they're just going to get better.
And the Eagles were 3 inches away from losing.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that ball goes 3 inches right.
Which they played fantastic, too, which is crazy.
Really good game.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you look at the rest of the field, like, they were the last team in, and they could have easily won the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, from here on out, I think the road to the Super Bowl goes through the NFC. That just showed in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. So, moving on to next weekend, we have the conference championships. It's the 1 o'clock is it's my fault. The 3 o'clock is going to be Rams Saints at New Orleans, and the 6:40 game is going to be Patriots at the Chiefs.
I always find it interesting how they put like I mean, I guess it's for all like money and like ratings and stuff and like it's interesting that Mahomes is going to be the prime time game with like Brady.
Yeah.
But like I feel like the Saints and the Rams is like going to be the better game. I don't know.
Well, I think they're both going to be.
I mean, they're both going to be fantastic games. Right. But like if you're talking about two teams like could have been in the Super Bowl, like say there was no conferences, the Saints and the Rams are two of the best teams. Easily. But I guess so are the Patriots and I mean I guess.
Well, not according to Tom Brady.
Well,
we suck.
Well, I'll tell you what makes this so interesting is that they're both rematches.
Yeah.
So basically what happened earlier in the year was, let me see if I can pull this up. Week 9, November 4th, the Saints squeaked away with a 10-point win at the Superdome. And the Patriots barely squeaked away with a 3-point win in New England.
Yeah.
Which makes that all more important because New England played their best and Kansas City played very poorly.
Right.
And
so that's it's going to be a really interesting game in Kansas City.
Here's one thing that's interesting. I was trying to look up those games, but like I just saw a thing and I know weather is like whatever, but it says Patriots Chiefs weather forecast, Arctic blast could hit Kansas City and create historically low temps. So like I feel like a really cold game with like snow, I feel like that eliminates like home field advantage.
Well, but
does it?
They both come from those conditions because the Patriots play outside just as much as the Chiefs do.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but like,
and it's if not a worse weather climate up.
So who has the edge?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
It's too close to tell.
Whoever has the best rushing attack.
I would give it to the Chiefs just being at home.
Whoever has the best rushing attack, so I guess I don't know. I mean,
okay, here's my take on it. The Chiefs' offense is so inventive in what they do, and there's so much misdirection and motions happening. I think in a weather game like that, that's super important.
Yeah, well,
that's a
more big plays, more explosive plays. That equals more yardage.
Are you saying the Chiefs will do better in the weather or worse?
I think they'll do better as long as cadence is okay, and
see that
helps that they're at home too.
And it's the same thing that happened against Indianapolis.
They didn't have any false starts really.
It didn't affect them.
Yeah.
Wait, who are you talking about?
The Chiefs.
What do you? Oh, the weather.
Yeah,
okay,
the weather.
I thought you were talking about like the motions and everything because
No.
the Colts were messed up by it.
Yeah. I'm saying the Chiefs weren't affected by the weather.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll be interested to see
ran
how
all
the
over
Chiefs.
the Colts.
I'll be interested to see how the Chiefs handle the Patriots' offense because what makes the Patriots' offense historically so great. And I saw a tweet. I can't remember if it was Shannon Sharp who tweeted it out. I think it was. He said, "Chargers, like if you want to win this game, you have to take away the Patriots' first option.
Yeah.
You have to take away Tom Brady's first option, which essentially, with that offense that Belichick runs, is incredibly difficult because you never know where the first option is going to be.
He's got like four first options.
Who's decoy?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so if the Chiefs are going to win, because their defense is not the strongest part of their. I mean, obviously they can clamp up when they need to. And,
we saw that last week.
But I think if they're going to have to win, I think they're going to have to take away that first option, to wherever they're going to go, and that's what makes the Patriots so successful, even when they don't have the big names on board, right? Like They don't have Josh Gordon.
Right.
Is Julian Edelman's not going to play, right?
Is he?
I haven't heard
I don't
that.
know. I mean, I haven't. I mean, I know he was.
Was he banged up?
I don't know.
Yeah, look that up real quick. But yeah, I think if the if the Patriots hang around, I'm scared. Because like if I'm gonna pick opposite Patriots, every time I picked against them, I've been dead wrong.
See, I don't
Sometimes my
know
luck
if I really
is-
want to pick against the Patriots.
Yeah, see,
It's
like,
hard to.
Playoff season is tough with that. Like they
And
just become a
especially after
different
what
team.
they did this week. That's
Yeah, we all basically counted them out. I counted them out.
I did too.
And
I thought the
they-
Chargers were going to come in there, and it might have been a game, but I thought they were going to beat them.
The Chargers' defense was so commanding versus Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I don't know if that might have helped the Patriots too, as they saw what the Chargers defense had best to offer, and they were just like, okay,
Well, here's how we're going to beat that.
a blueprint. Yeah,
Right. Old Bill Belichick
yeah,
fixing himself up a scheme.
a scheme.
Scheme. Scheme.
Oh man.
Scheme.
So what's it look like, Tucker?
I'm trying to find it. It seems like he might be able to play, and he's kind of just up. It's questionable. So
Questionable.
as of right now, so we'll see.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but in that Chiefs game versus the Colts, did you guys see that end around to Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy. So like Tyreek Hill is such an explosive player
Uh-huh.
that not only should you be worried about his route running,
But
you should
him
be
running the
worried.
ball.
Yeah,
Right.
like it's crazy, and like he can get punt returns and kick returns too, and I don't know.
Mhm.
He's a full faceted player.
Dynamic threat. That's what he
Dynamic,
is.
yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have trouble picking against the Patriots. We'll see. We'll give our picks
Freaking-
probably at the very end
Freaking Patriots.
if you guys
fans.
want to.
Okay.
Oh, we give them today?
I mean, we could
Unless-
wait for the in the cut.
Oh,
You know what?
That's an in the cut
Yeah.
thing. You're
We'll-
going to have to check out the article.
We'll wait for in the cut. Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys have to read the article.
Releases on Friday.
Yeah.
You guys have to read the article. Okay. So in the other game though, Rams Saints, I think this is gonna be a great game.
Oh yeah.
Most
No
definitely.
doubt.
You have two high-powered offenses, two very very good coaches this year, very different from Peyton and McVay.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton's kind of an older guy. McVay is very new on the scene.
Very youngest coach in the NFL.
Yeah,
Is he still?
if you get a call from him, you're up for a head
Yeah.
coaching job.
Right.
You're gonna be a head coach, so
It's like Madden.
yeah,
Oh,
basically.
wait.
You could be like Sean. You could be his like towel, or you could hold his headset, his little thing for his
Set it
headset,
out there.
and you might be like an offense coordinator at the next time.
If your wife works with McVay's wife and you guys go out to dinner, you're up for a promotion in the NFL.
Yeah, you might get elected as
You
president.
might be a coordinator.
You might get elected as president of the whole United
Well,
States.
Well, shit, anyone can nowadays.
Oh, let's not take it there, guys.
Oh.
Let's not. You crossed
So
the
the
line.
Saints-
I'm not
the
saying
Saints
it's a
versus the
bad
Rams.
thing, but
Saints
You
versus the
crossed
Rams.
line.
Saints versus the Rams.
back,
Interesting matchup.
back on subject.
Saints versus the Rams.
Oh, okay. So, what's your take out of this, Tucker?
I would say, it's tough. I think it's the most even two teams that we've seen. I think defensively the edge goes to Los Angeles, but I also feel like offensively it's way too close to call just because of how good it's like all of a sudden the Rams have this new two-headed monster with C.J. Anderson and Gurley, and then obviously the Saints have the two-headed monster with Ingram and Kamara. But the thing about those two is they're both so dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can do anything on the field. The Saints have Michael Thomas. They have Ted Ginn, which were the oldest dude in the league, but he still plays good. He plays good with them for some reason.
Jimmy Graham.
And just other. They have a lot of really great other pieces. So
That's
Yeah.
it's in New Orleans, right?
it's in New Orleans.
Okay.
The first game was in New Orleans too, which makes this one interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
The FBI is picking New Orleans 62 like 62.1%. So
It's not very
Okay.
high though.
No.
which is not very high. That's like that's basically a toss up.
It's-
So
It's going to be a really good game, I think.
That seems too high for like a conference championship. I think though.
I think the
You
only
say it should be lower?
I think
Yeah.
the only way the Rams win is if their rushing attack is as good as it was against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I think the only way the Saints win is if they can successfully keep the front seven of the Rams off of Drew Brees. And I think, which is something that the Eagles did really well. If you look at what the Eagles did in the first quarter against the Saints,
Yeah.
that's what the Rams need to watch because Fletcher Cox, all those guys, they got after Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything. They were stonewalled on defense or on offense. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
That's a really good point
Yeah.
because I think the front sevens are going to be fun to watch alone.
Yeah.
Which usually front sevens, they can sometimes be hit or miss to watch in an NFL game with like bad O lines or bad D lines.
Right.
But I think this is best on best is how it can go. Just looking at the weapons at D end and D tackle that the Rams and the Saints both have.
Right.
I don't know. I like Cam Jordan a lot, so.
If you really want to get the most out of this game, I would say take a couple plays out and focus your attention to just off the ball and watching the front seven go to work. And
Oh, yeah.
that's where the game is going to be won and lost. So
And the front seven is always the most fun
Yeah.
to watch anyway.
because I think skill wise, I think they're really even both sides, defensively and offensively. They both have great skill players.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
something else I meant to bring up. So basically, this is the first championship game appearance by Jared Goff, and also the first one for Patrick Mahomes. Do you think this could be the first time we see them truly have like a rookie moment in the playoffs? We didn't see it last
I
week.
think it's possible, but
That might
they've already
change the
got games
outcome.
under the belt.
Yeah, I mean,
Playoff. I feel like playoff is so much different though.
Well,
You know what I mean?
they both have playoff games under the belt at this point.
Well, Mahomes only has one, and Goff has two.
Too. That's fair.
yeah.
I mean, that's my only concern
That's
in
fair.
that it might cost them a W at the end of the day.
I feel like, yeah, maybe. I feel like it more so depends on what the Patriots bring to have Mahomes have a rookie moment.
Right.
Because he seems honestly, there's no reason to think he's not as consistent. I will say this, though. It's good that he's not playing on the road. The Chiefs are 3-5 on the road this year.
Yeah.
And 3 of their losses on the road were double-digit losses. So, like, it's not like they're this Superman team. So
Right.
And he has thrown some interceptions.
No, his 3
have
interception
to be
game, that was
aggressive, I
at
feel
that
like.
was at Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he just
I feel like they have to be aggressive.
yeah.
Patriots.
Seven.
And they need to, if they're gonna want to win, they have to confuse him. And it might be tough because the Chiefs are going to be doing a lot of confusing themselves. So
Right.
Interesting.
We'll see.
So the last part I just wanted to bring up was NFL coaching hires. Anybody stick out to you guys? We have new head coaches in the Jets, Cleveland. Am I missing any?
Well,
Oh,
you got
Arizona.
the Packers. You got the Bucks.
Yeah, pretty much
Cincinnati.
everyone.
Broncos.
Cincinnati, finally.
Cincinnati.
Anybody stick out to you guys? Well, I don't think Cincinnati's official yet
Not
because the Rams are still playing.
and also the Dolphins aren't official yet, but it looks like they're going to hire the Patriots linebacker coach.
Oh, Flores?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Is that breaking news, Tucker? You want to break it?
Well, that's already it's been broken.
All right. I was trying to give you the credit, man.
Sorry. I wish. Imagine like I was on the phone. With
Holy.
Adam Tucker Schroeder reports. But I think a really interesting one for me coming from as a Dolphins fan is that the Jets like hired Adam Gase because
I don't get it.
I don't understand. And this is coming from a Dolphins fan, so I experienced this for 3 years.
Okay.
People are like, now I will say this: some Jets fans are pissed, and some Jets fans are like over the moon about him. And I'm
I feel like
all right,
Jets
listen.
fans are always.
Listen here, guys.
Adam Gase was like the hottest offensive mind like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. He was a quarterback whisperer like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not so much. Ryan Tannehill was supposed to be like his little prodigal son, and now
Yeah. No.
Okay, how much of that is on Ryan Tannehill though?
I would say a lot because first off, Tannehill's injury prone.
Yeah.
Second, he's not. I mean, yes, he's played in NFL games. Yes, he can make some of the throws, but Tannehill is not. He's not a franchise guy.
Okay. So how is that? Do you think that's Gase's fault then?
kind of, because he didn't get any better. He never got any better. And when the Dolphins went to the playoffs, Tannehill wasn't in. It was Matt Moore. So
it wasn't Tannehill taking them to the playoffs.
You know, when Gase brought them to the playoffs, it was Matt Moore.
Well, this is the true
and
test
not to
for
mention they had
Gase
a
now.
fantastic defense that year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
A true test for Gase this year, coming into this year now with Darnold.
If he can make Darnold a great quarterback,
Well,
you know, kudos to them, great hire. But
we'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what the head scratching move is to me this year?
Would you say? I think I know what you're gonna say, but
Okay, say it.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Arizona.
obviously, yeah.
I don't get it.
Oh, he hadn't even been in the
I would
NFL
also say
program.
that and Matt LaFleur to the Packers. Those two are the most biggest head scratchers to me. But I would
Yeah.
say Cliff Kingsbury, without a doubt, biggest
The
head
biggest.
scratcher.
Yeah.
Because the dude went 5-7 with Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech.
Yeah,
So-
he was sub 500 record in the Big
Big Ten.
12.
Big
Oh,
12.
Big 12, yeah.
Big 12 with Patrick Mahomes. Just
How
so
does
you
that
guys know.
happen?
Well, you know,
How do you do that?
must have been an off year.
Just
Down
an
here.
offensive mind.
Right.
Well, here's my point.
Weak
I don't
defense.
get how he goes immediately. At least have a year under your belt as like an OC or something like that. The fact that the Cardinals did this looks bad for the organization as a whole.
Yeah.
Because they only gave Wilkes 1 year, Steve Wilkes, and now he's the defensive coordinator for the Browns. So I guess it's kind of worked out for him.
Right.
But,
Hell,
I just
the-
feel-
the Browns won more games than the Cardinals this year.
yeah, if I'm Larry Fitzgerald, I'd probably retire.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
time to hang it up.
There's no use for another year of just wear and tear for the same results.
Okay, but do you think we talked about Gase and Darnold? Do you think Kingsbury can have an effect on Josh Rosen?
Maybe because of the personality of the two. I feel like they kind of align in a sense. Like Josh Rosen and Cliff Kingsbury both kind of have that like weird little ego to them.
Yeah.
So maybe that helps, but I don't see how Cliff Kingsbury resonates with the rest of the team at all.
Okay.
Like I don't see where he resonates in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you want me to be honest with you. So
I can see that.
Dalton, you have any or no? Do you have?
Well, besides the Cardinals, if the Bengals hired Zach Taylor, like they said they're supposedly going to, I think that'll be a good pickup for them. But are they going to hold on to him as long as they held on to old Marvin Lewis? Because
I hope not.
I don't know.
yeah,
I just feel bad that most of the minority coaches ended up getting the axe this year. Some were deserved, some weren't.
well, I'd say Marvin Lewis was not given the axe because he was a minority. I'd say he was given the axe because
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
he wasn't very
that, but
good.
you look
No,
at
I
you look
know,
at
I know.
you
But
look
if
at
you look at
Steve
it-
Wilkes.
If you look
Right.
at it as a whole, it's really hard to grasp it. And I know the Rooney Rule and all this and that, but like maybe that needs to be revisited because I mean this year is just a
Exactly.
really like
right.
Yeah.
it's like whoa, you know, the
75% of the coaches got axed this year were
Yeah.
minorities.
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah, and there's only one African American head coach left.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which it shouldn't be like.
I don't think Vance Joseph deserve to get fired, and I also don't think Wilkes deserve to
definitely
get
not
fired.
Wilkes.
No,
Yeah.
One
no,
year. They
Wilkes.
gave him
Yeah,
1 year.
that's insane.
And they
This
had a
year with-
rookie quarterback.
Right.
It's
year.
crazy, right?
It's like they set him up.
And not very many other pieces.
Yeah,
Like
I agree. Any that stuck out to you as home run picks? I think Freddie Kitchens.
I was about to say Freddie Kitchens. That's cool. That it's a guy that
and he seems really likable.
continue to develop Baker. I'm interested to see how their defense moves. I think I liked who they picked up at DC, so I think they won't miss a beat. I really liked Greg Williams. I think that would have been also been just to keep him, but I get what they were trying to do. But no, Freddie Kitchens is a great hire. I think Bruce Arians in Tampa Bay is a great hire.
Yeah,
I like that one
for
too.
sure.
And
My
those are
problem-
my two
I always
favorites.
thought Bruce Arians was a great coach.
Tony Fangio in Broncos at Denver is kind of a sleeper one.
Yeah,
Great defense.
same
with
as
the Bears.
LaFleur.
Yeah. So
Here's my thing with Arians. If you're him, do you start fresh with a new QB?
he's openly said that Jameis is his guy to start.
Isn't?
He
Is.
Ugh.
So
We'll
I'm
see.
done with
We'll
him,
see
man.
about
we'll
He
see.
keeps like.
that. I don't think he'll be
But
around
if
much
you really
longer.
look at Tampa's roster, they have a lot of great players.
So why don't you go after a QB, man?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to me, man.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray,
Kyler Murray.
Jeez,
first round pick.
First round
he's
draft.
playing baseball.
Ah,
No, he's not.
New
He
developments.
said he declared for the NFL
new
draft.
development. Tucker Schroeder
Oh,
he has
boy.
it. Has it
He
first.
declared today.
I
Like,
must-
he was going to the NFL draft.
Sorry, I was working on the truck all day. I must have missed that.
Oh,
Well, Well, I got it fixed. So that's
Is
all
that a
matters.
humble brag?
Humble brag.
Humble brag? I guess
Dalton has a job and we don't.
It could have been a humble brag. Wasn't a job. Could be a job.
Working on the truck all
I
day?
do have a job now, but that's not the point of this podcast. So
No.
Humble
If you're
brag.
gonna go into my deep fandom of why I like the Patriots, we might as well just talk while you work on a truck.
what is there to talk about?
What do you do on the truck?
Well, my AC or not my AC. That was. A
Oh,
different
working
problem.
on the.
Working on my truck.
I was thinking like working on the truck, like he was like UPS.
Oh no,
Oh,
no, it's disappointing.
all
I did
right.
get a job at the College Shine Car Wash. However, I start tomorrow about 4 o'clock.
Excited.
up
Hey,
there.
if you're in Richmond,
Once in the
Kentucky,
car. Come through the College Shine. We'll get you shined up real nice.
well, Dalton, we just would like to say thank you for being our guest today.
Well,
Next week forward, we'll have a guest. But you have something to say?
You're gonna kick me off, I guess.
You're not
That's
going to be here.
right.
You're still our producer.
Yeah, you'll
so
still be here.
You'll still be mic'd up.
That's crazy.
You can just be you,
Oh, good.
the best producer there is.
You give me too much credit now.
Tucker,
But
you have
thank
any? You have any final words here? Dalton's got to go.
Well, the Cardinals are going to win the Super Bowl next year. Okay. Goodbye.
I don't even know what to say. I'm over
All right,
this.
we're ending on that
Okay.
note.
All right. On that note.
No, I have final words, honestly.
All right.
Chris is unloyal. All right, that's it. Goodbye.
Wait, what?
Browns.
That was very anticlimactic.
All right.
All right. So stay tuned. This is the first episode of the CTE Football Podcast.
Dedicated football podcast. Straight up football.
Yep. And you can catch us next week. See you guys.
All right. See you later.